record breaker, taking credit as an educator. I've been known to spit the flows and make it shaky, shaky thing. Popping, locking, stopping, let it hang. Watch us as we drop this hip hop, it's like it stays. We make the whole room drop and everybody sing. We want the funk. We gotta have that funk. We kick it old school. We think we're so cool. We take it back to the past. We gonna act a fool. Enough jumps, the middle finger make.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Sports Buzz, the Fanatical View. I am your host, Scott D. Lewis. Here in studio, not live, once again, pre-recorded show on a Thursday afternoon, Thursday, June 26th, for the show airing this evening at 6 o'clock. So we're here till 6:30. Recorded the show just shortly after USA advances out of the group of death. So we will be definitely getting into all the World Cup action as we move on. I am somewhat solo, but not really, because our right-hand man, Mr. Bob Broad Jr., he calls from hospitals and he calls from vacation.
I'm on vacation, yes, I'm on vacation.
Living it up on vacation up there in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, a little camping trip. And he is taking a few minutes of his time to get here on the line with us and talk sports.
How are you, Scott?
I'm doing pretty good. I'd be better if I was on vacation. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm finally having something I haven't had in 10 years, a vacation.
Well, then you definitely deserve it. Hardest working man in the area, Bob Broad Jr., or for this case, I'm going to call you Clark W. Griswold for today. Vacation, all he ever wanted. He needs to get away. That's it. So things are good so far, so good on the trip?
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful. We went to Hampton Beach yesterday, and we're going there again tonight. They got they got country and western music tonight, so last night they had rock and roll, and had fireworks, so we had a really good time. Very good, very good. Of course, Bob's show, Spotlight On, airs Tuesday nights at 9, Wednesdays at 12, and of course the Westerners Roundup as well, Thursdays following us 6:30 and Fridays following us at 1:30. And our guy Mike Toohey is in the studio running things. Expose Cinema, his show, Friday nights at 9 and Wednesdays at what? At 1. Anything good coming up on the Roundup? Because not too much good going on the field for the Westerners right now. It's been we've not been able to produce a win.
No, a losing streak again. Dropped, 3, 4 in a row at this point. They are 5-10 right now in 5th place, 6 games back of Plymouth, who is 9-2 to start here. They are right now second worst team in the 12-team NECBL. The whole league combined at 5-10. New Bedford 2-12. Keene is off to a slow start, 5-9. So they need to get this thing turned around and get it turned around quick. Here, I got some of their stats here, Bob. Team ERA, 5.27. That's not good. In 128 innings, they've surrendered 77 walks. That's too many, and 131 hits.
The other night we hit 2 batters and walked in 4 runs.
That is never going to get it done when you're playing baseball. You can't just be letting the other team score free runs, you know?
18-8 was the score the other night. That thing, though, I think that was a new record.
That was pretty bad. Reminds me of the day I was out there in that doing the PA duty. Wasn't that a high-scoring game? Every time I come down, it's always one of those crazy affairs. So the pitching stats, not great. 112 strikeouts, which isn't bad for 128 innings pitched. That's actually pretty good. But more than 1 hit an inning, and 77 walks in 128 innings. So half a walk per inning. More than that, really. So not good. Batting average, 262. 108 strikeouts offensively. Only 58 walks compared to the 77 they're giving up. 8 home runs, not a lot. 71 runs scored in the 15 games. So offensively, not tearing it up either. But I'd say, pitching has been a big problem. They've been down early and often, big deficits lately. Kind of sounded like my Red Sox a little bit.
Yeah. I was watching the Red Sox game last night.
Well, thankfully they didn't get swept in Seattle. They salvaged the last game of the series in Seattle and the last game of the series in Oakland to come up with a 2-5 record there on the West Coast trip before heading home to play at Yankee Stadium this weekend.
And see if they have another. See if they can beat the Bombers, or the Bombers will have another go around.
Bombers have had their way with the Red Sox so far this season, although the Bombers haven't played great against everybody else. Bombers 40-37. They also salvaged the last game of a series as Toronto had taken the first 2 out of 3. Yankees got a win last night to avoid getting swept. The Jays were trying to return the favor from last week when the Yankees swept them in New York. How about that, Bob? Last week, Yankees sweep the Jays. That was the 16th consecutive loss in New York by Toronto, dating back to last season. I mean, that is just pathetic that the Jays can't.
Terrible.
I mean, you can't get a single victory in New York? That's horrible. So I was going to do World Cup first, but we got the baseball stuff going right now. So let's do a little quick baseball, and then we'll go soccer and some other stuff. Toronto is atop the division, 44-36. Baltimore 41-36, a game and a half out. Yankees 40-37, 2.5 out, and they got the series with the Red Sox coming up. All right, so Boston 36-43. Since the point where they went above 500 and were looking to climb the standings and turn the corner from a little bit of a slow start, they have been 15-25 since that point to fall to 36-43. Middlebrooks is out still. Victorino out still, and both of those guys have been shut down in their rehab assignments as they've had complications with what they're doing. Mike Carp is supposed to be coming back soon. Craig Buchholz made his return last night and actually finally pitched well. He's been terrible so far this year. One thing that could be helping them lately, they finally are settling into keeping Daniel Nava in the rotation as a part of the batting order there. I mean, why they sent him down early in the season is beyond me. He's batting .390 in his last 20 games, so he's settled back in. And, of course, Brock Holt, the rookie, who's garnishing Rookie of the Year talk already, batting .323 as the leadoff hitter, trying to settle that spot down. But the other young guys, Jackie Bradley Jr. batting .211 on the season, but he's in a little bit of a hot streak, batting .290 over the last 10 days or so. But while he gets hot, Alexander Bogaerts goes ice cold. He's 5 for his last 55, dropping his average to .256. So they can't get everybody going at the same time. And then you got Pedroia only batting .265. He just had his third kid. His wife did. Him and his wife welcomed in their third child. So hopefully maybe the distraction of that could be put behind him. But, I mean, come on. Pedroia has got to be better than that, .265. And Ortiz, at least Ortiz is hitting game-winning home runs left and right. But that's about all he's doing as he's batting .256 with the 18 homers and 49 runs batted in. So offensively, they remain anemic. They can't get everybody going at once. They leave guys on base left and right. And the base pass, Bob, remember last year with Victorino, Pedroia likes to steal bases, and of course Ellsbury going for about 50, 60 stolen bases. Their leading base stealer right now is Jackie Bradley Jr. with 5.
That's lucky.
So they're not getting it done on the base pass where they have the dual threat. They can really wreck an inning and manufacture runs. So really, station to station, not putting enough hits together in a row to get big innings. Tampa Bay in last place, 32-48. They have fallen apart this year, way, way out of it. Central Division last week, it was Kansas City who had won 10 in a row, but they have struggled since that point and are now in second place behind Detroit, who's recovered. Detroit 42-32, KC 40-38. Cleveland still hanging around at 38-40, and Minnesota a little surprised at 36-40. Out west, still the cream of the crop in the American League. Oakland 48-30, who bounced back from a 10-1 defeat at the hands of your Mets the other night, Bob.
I know. It was looking like the 73 season all over again.
Yeah, your Mets scoring some runs lately. And Oakland bounced back with a win last night. Angels in second place, 43-33. Seattle still playing pretty well, 42-37. So nationally, we mentioned your Mets. They are 5-1 in their last 6 games on a little mini run here. Bob, what do you think of that?
Oh, I love it. Hey, speaking of the Mets, this Sunday at the Sports Dome, they're having Dwight Gooden.
Dwight Gooden at the Dome?
Former Yankee. He's going to be down signing autographs.
Oh, I did not hear about that. At the Sports Dome this Sunday. You know what time that is?
I think it's from 11 to 4. I don't know exactly what time he's going to be there, but the Westerners are going to have a booth down there. I know that.
Wow. Are you going to be back for that or no?
So come on down. I'm sure we might have a few Westerners that are down there that day, and
Are you going to be back from vacation for that?
I'll be back, but I won't be back for that. I won't be back till later in the afternoon.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll go down and see what's going on and get some coverage for you.
And take a camera, go down and do some filming or whatever.
Right. So your Mets, though, on a little mini run here, 5-1, scored some runs, took 3 out of 4 from Miami, an 11-5 win to end that series, and then they backed that up with a 10-1 win over the A's. So a little life in them. The Nats lead that division 41-36. Braves 40-37. The Nats actually beat the Braves, split a 4-game series. They never beat the Braves, so that was pretty good news for them. Miami 39-39. You guys leapfrog the Phillies, who are now 35-42. Brewers Central Division 48-32. Cards hanging around at 43-36. We know they're always dangerous. Reds and Pirates hovering around 500 as well. And then how about this? Are you ready for my Mad Dog Russo impersonation in reference to Tim Lincecum's no-hitter yesterday with the Giants? You ready?
Yeah.
How about that little Timmy Lincecum there, Mikey? Not bad, huh? That was pretty good. All right, so Bob's not impressed with my impersonation, it doesn't sound like. Come on! That little Timmy Lincecum. All right, anyways, Timmy Lincecum goes for his second no-hitter in as many seasons against the same team. No-hits the Padres for the second year in a row. Very nice performance out of him. Giants 46-32, but they, more importantly, got a win because they have been struggling a lot lately, and the Dodgers are catching up at 44-36. All right, so that's the baseball. Let's get into this World Cup action. We'll make a quick reference before we do that, actually. NBA draft tonight. A lot of speculation on who goes where. The Embiid injury is a big factor as far as that goes. He was supposed to be the number 1. He could drop maybe to the Celtics at 6. We'll see. Wiggins and Parker are going to be either the 1 or the 2. We're not sure. U.S. Open Women's Golf Tournament. Michelle Wie finally gets a victory at a major. That was pretty nice. 12 years in the making, as she started her career at 12 years old. And at 24 years old, she finally comes through with a victory at a major. So that was pretty good for her. And ironically enough, there was a 11-year-old playing in this tournament who didn't make the cut, but played pretty well nonetheless. Quick reference on Wimbledon. Sloane Stephens out of the tournament early on day 1, ended a streak. She had the longest current active streak of any women's player, making it to the round of 16 in 6 straight majors. And she goes out in the first round. Venus Williams, however, gets her first victory at Wimbledon in 3 years. More importantly, she announces she will be appearing in ESPN The Body issue. Looking very good, I can see right there. Not too bad for Venus Williams.
Hey, Scott, I got to cut you short.
All right, I'll go World Cup without you because I know you're not paying attention to that.
The boss is telling me I got to go.
All right, tell her we said happy birthday and happy vacation. Enjoy the rest of your time, Bob. We'll catch you when you get back.
I'll see you next week. Next week?
Yeah, we're here live next week.
Okay.
We'll see you then.
All right, take care.
All right,
Have a good one.
All right. All right, thank you for Bob, or Clark W. Griswold, as we will call him today. All right, World Cup action, because I know we don't have too much time, maybe 10 minutes or so left. So USA today, as we referenced at the top of the show, suffered a 1-0 loss in the rain-soaked Brazilian countryside there. 9 straight hours of downpour leading into the game and through the game. Germany got 1 goal in the second half, but USA did enough to advance out of the group of death. Of course, the big, huge game was the middle game against Portugal. They pulled out the great victory against Ghana in first game, and then in the waning moments, 95th minute, latest goal scored ever, Portugal stunned the United States by tying them 2-2 after the USA had fallen behind early, down 1-0 in the opening moments when their defender made a terrible, terrible mistake, giving the ball away in the box for a free goal for Portugal. They rallied with the huge shot, as you see the celebration by Jermaine Jones. Unbelievable strike by him just outside the box to tie it at 1, and then later Dempsey on the scramble in the box with about 3 touches. Nice cross in the middle. Ball ricocheted as the Portuguese defense was struggling, trying to regroup. And Dempsey gets the feed from Zuzi and puts it off his chest and into the net for the game leading go-ahead goal there at about the 76th minute. And it looked like, for all things, they would advance after game 2. They were in prime position to clinch a berth in the round of 16 on that day, but it was Cristiano Ronaldo after bad turnover at midfield by Michael Bradley, who has been under fire for his poor performance so far in this tournament. And he gave it away at about 94.5 minutes. And suddenly, just like that, Ronaldo had it breaking down the sideline, and he lofted a perfect strike into the box. And for some unknown reason, the U.S. defense did not realize there was an open man running free, unmarked, down the field, and he put that ball right on his head, and he shot it past Tim Howard in net, who had played tremendous, making some huge saves against Portugal earlier in the game to uphold that 2-1 lead. But they settle, gut-wrenching style settle, for a 2-2 draw, which set up the drama today. They had the advantage going in with the goal differential, especially if it was going to be Portugal beating Ghana. And Ghana suspended 2 players before the match today, so you knew Ghana was in a little bit out of sorts, and it was 2 of their top players were suspended and sent home before this game. So that was a plus for the USA. And then Portugal scored early for a 1-0 lead, but Ghana then tied it up early in the second half, right around the same time Germany was taking a 1-goal lead against the USA. And that goal differential was coming into play because Ghana was only, I believe, 2 goals differential behind. So if Ghana all of a sudden went up 2-1 while we were down 1-0, we were in much danger of getting taken out of the tournament. But a huge mistake by the Ghana goalie, as he received a lofted ball into the middle of the net, and inexplicably, he just haphazardly knocked the ball down straight into the middle of the box where Ronaldo was standing wide open for the rebound, score one of the easiest goals he'll ever get for the 2-1 lead, and Portugal went on to win 2-1, and that was not enough for them as they had the huge 5-goal differential to make up, and they could not get that done, so they get sent home. All right, and they get sent home. So USA advances. We have to wait and see. We're recording the show this afternoon before the results to the Belgium Korea game, South Korea game goes down, and the Algeria-Russia game. Belgium most likely is our next opponent, as they will come out of their group, probably, I believe, the winner of their group. Germany wins our group, USA comes in second, so we will get first place out of Belgium's group, and it looks, for all things, that they will be the top team coming out of that group. So we could have a nice matchup with Belgium, who's played well, but I would not call them a world power. but they will still be a dangerous team for us to match up with. We get some time off here. I believe the next game is Wednesday of next week, so we can rest. Remember also today, we were dealing with coming out of that game played in the Amazon late in the day, early evening, extreme heat temperatures, and we were dealing with only having 3 days rest when Germany had 4. Germany played on Saturday against Ghana. USA played on Sunday night. So short turnaround for USA, and it looked like they were feeling the effects of that in today's game, but again, doing enough to get through. So it looks like we'll get Belgium. We'll see how it plays out with the Algeria and Russia going head-to-head. See which other team comes out of that group. Other teams that have advanced. Actually, let's get to the big, huge, controversial talking point with my happiness over USA advancing. I must admit, I am still quite peeved and disappointed at my Italian team going out specifically in the fashion that they did. You know, I was disappointed about all the offsides I felt called wrongly in the Costa Rica game too that they played after their great performance against England. Then they were up against it against Uruguay, a dangerous team. They needed a draw or a victory to advance, and it was 0-0 in the second half when the Mexican judge hands out the red card inexplicably. No excuse for this red card coming out. Unbelievable, really, that he did that. There was no excuse for it against Marchisio. It was a regular play. Marchisio actually had the ball back to his defense, played it forward, spun to take it when the defense came up underneath him, and his foot went up over the ball and clipped the defender in the shin. If anything, it's just a foul. It's nothing more than that. Possibly a yellow for his foot coming up slightly on that play. But again, he had the ball and was making the play when the defense came underneath him. And they red card him, so they had to play a man down for the rest of the second half. They are still playing well as they've done so in their history before, when Luis Suarez, the cannibal as he is known for his previous biting incidents, it's happened twice before, and it happened again in the 79th minute. Unbelievable as he comes in from behind and bites the Italian player, sending him to the turf, where you can see he's holding his teeth. Why are you holding your teeth, Suarez? Because you just bit somebody. And the Italian player showing the bite mark to the judge, to the official, who does nothing about it. Does not kick this man out. A minute later, instead of playing 10 on 10, still playing 11 on 10, and in disbelief at what has just happened, Uruguay gets a corner and a header for the game winner, sending the Italians home stunned. Just totally shocking that this would happen in this match, and Uruguay would advance. FIFA comes through today after their investigation, proved what we all knew happened. He did bite him, and has banned Suarez for the rest of the World Cup and 6 months overall. He will not be playing the beginning of his English Premier League, the Champions League. He will miss many games. Little of no consequence to the Italians, who sit at home saying, what about us? We were the team that was wronged in the Costa Rica game and in the Uruguay game. So the Ticos of Costa Rica are the group winner as they advance out of the group of champions. 3 champions played in that group, first time that ever happened: Uruguay, England, and Italy. The team that has never won the group, Costa Rica. And they will face Greece, who came through by the skin of their teeth, no pun intended. Late penalty in the box against Ivory Coast in a tie game where a tie would have sent the Ivory Coast through. And in stoppage time, a penalty in the box gives Greece the penalty kick and the victory, sending them through out of their group with Colombia, the winner. Colombia won all 3 of their games, playing extremely well. As there we see the celebration by Greece after stunning the Ivory Coast. Bitter loss for the Ivory Coast. A cruel fate for them. Colombia does advance. They will face Uruguay, who will be playing without Suarez and maybe without their other top player, Forlan, who was injured and out of the Italy game. So that is an interesting matchup there. Greece against Costa Rica, who have been a surprise to say the least. Of course, we have Brazil and Mexico coming out of Group A, and Brazil, led by Neymar, will be playing against Chile as the Chileans beat out Spain, among others, in their group. And it's the Netherlands playing very inspired ball behind their leader, Robin, one of the top scorers in the league. They will be going up against the great goalie, Ochoa, and Mexico in their matchups. France, another team, has played very well, and Switzerland come out of their group, and they will play Switzerland, second place, play against the leader of their group, Argentina, who is starting to get a little bit going here. They did win all 3 of their games. They didn't look great in their first 2. They came up with a nice win against Nigeria, who also did advance. Messi playing very well now, as he has 4 goals overall. Argentina got the late goal from Messi to win 1-0 against Iran, who played very well, actually. I was surprised to see how well they played. So it's Argentina and Nigeria. Argentina against Switzerland, Nigeria against France. And we also mentioned Germany, USA. USA most likely against Belgium, but we still have to wait to see who Germany will face. So controversy abound. Big disappointment for my Italian team. It's going to be great going forward. I believe the knockout round of 16 begins on Saturday. I believe USA will not have to play until Wednesday. Not sure exactly what time. It could be a noon game, but maybe it'll be a little bit later in the afternoon, which would be better for everybody to get out of work and check that out. The USA-Portugal game Sunday night, worth noting, highest watched soccer game ever in the history of soccer events. So they are doing well. Italy lost in the turmoil of that. Their star player, Balotelli, huge disappointment, getting taken out of the match at halftime after picking up a yellow and just playing uninspired football early in the match. We're down to about a minute to go, so we will be wrapping things up. USA have to be thrilled with everybody. And the thing also that is worth noting here is the furor in which the fans have taken to this team. Finally, United States has seen what has gone on in European countries, South American, Central American companies for years. Humongous group gatherings in major cities, playing it out and doing well. So huge crowds getting together for those games, which is nice to see. All right, we are out of here. Time is up. Hope you enjoyed the show. We will be back live next week, actually, which will be a little bit of a twist. Hopefully the USA will advance to the quarterfinals, which will be something to say, against Belgium. We'll see what happens, and we'll be looking forward to talking to it next week here on Sports Buzz. Thank you for tuning in.